speaker is the Regional Secretary of the Unite, and I'm glad that Lindsay brought up the issue of the Gaza flotilla, because I'd like to congratulate our next speaker, Steve Hart, on the resolution taken by Unite to join the boycott campaign against Israel. Steve Hart.
Thank you. My first point is just to tell conference that we've just had a wonderful first policy conference in my union, 1.5 million members in this country, and passed a whole range of very progressive positions on the Palestinian question. We had emergency motions arising this week about the terrible catastrophe flowing from Israel's attack. We had very good motions supporting Unite Against Fascism, and indeed against Islamophobia, and on Afghanistan, and indeed also on the question of migrant workers in Britain seeking to regularise undocumented workers. So I'm really pleased to be here today speaking on behalf of Unite, which has now got, at its first policy conference, adopted very progressive positions. But it's long been, in this region, a very important priority to fight racism, to fight fascism in all its forms. We put a lot of effort into the successful battle, and was it not a successful battle and a good moment on election night when Griffin was defeated over in Barking. But I think there are two real reasons why we see it as an important priority. One, because we're a very diverse union. We represent people from many cultures, many religions, many backgrounds, and have for many a long year been the cement that, in part, that keeps our union together in this region. As an indication, 24% of my regional committee are black or Asian, and in many of our strongest workplaces, strongest trade unionism amongst our bus drivers, for example. We have large numbers of people from many different cultures. So it's really important for us as a union in order to ensure that we stick together, we fight where there's Islamophobia, where there's racism developing. And we do see, let me be honest, we do see issues arising today that didn't arise before. I was a shop steward at Ford 30 years ago. In Ford in Dagenham, white, black and Asian shop stewards fought to get prayer rooms. We just occupied rooms and declared them prayer rooms. It was quite easy actually, and they're still there today. But that was a sign of the kind of unity in the breadth that there was 30 years ago. Things are more difficult in many workplaces today. And I think that one of the reasons for that, and I think certainly the war on terror has been a significant factor in that. But another thing that frightens me to death is the current economic situation. We're in a situation in which we're now getting to attempted neoliberal solutions to a neoliberal crisis that runs a serious risk of this country going in further into a double-digit recession, serious depression. If you remember back to the 30s depression started in 29. We're in the equivalent to 1931, which were the worst years of that. I think we've got serious problems to come in that respect. And in that context, Europe is seeing this spectre of racism and Islamophobia stalking the streets, and we've heard about Belgium, we know about minarets in Switzerland, we know about dangerous developments in basically what we thought was a generally progressive country in the Netherlands, and indeed in France. And I think that if we went into a situation in which, in that depression, there had been a successful Nazi movement in Europe, we can be absolutely sure that the cutting edge of that Nazi movement would be Islamophobia, building on the racism and building on the current context. That's why it's so important that we fight it in absolutely every way. Look at the EDL website. Look at the YouTube videos that the EDL puts out. It's absolutely comparable to the anti-Semitism of Goebbels and the Nazis in the early years of the 30s. As Lindsay just said, Germany, there was plenty of anti-Semitism in general in Germany for many, many years. It was a settled Jewish community. It was Hitler and Nazi Germany that developed that deep level of anti-Semitism that caused the Holocaust and so on. That's why we need to fight Islamophobia whenever it rears its head. Ensure that we are campaigning around it, campaigning to stop the EDL, to ensure our communities come out in the broadest possible sense to stop the EDL and to show that they're not welcome in our communities. But it's also important that we campaign in our communities, in our unions, against Islamophobia and against racism. One of the things that's arising at the moment that causes me deep concern is this phrase, immigration is a problem. In this recession, immigration is not a problem. The problem is no jobs, no houses, lack of public services and cuts. That's not caused by immigration, that's caused by government and caused by crisis in our capitalist economy. And we've got to make it very clear that that's the issue. Some people even say within our own union, yes, that's true, but migrants drive down labour costs and so on. Not a bit of it. What drives down labour costs is lack of organisation. So within our union, within our communities, we've got to be making the argument for unity and a united fight back. Our union will be with the Islamic community, will be with all communities, ensuring that we are fighting for this great society, one society, many cultures. That's where we are. Thank you.